Morning. Rather a grey day today as we approach Oshit Corner. On my own as Andy's waiting for a phone call from his doctor. Anyway, the idea is hopefully pick a few more folks up on the way, and then a couple up at Sally's place at Malvern, and then possibly on to the Naval Temple at the Kaimin, for those that have not seen it, and then dinner at the Silver Fox. So away we go. As I've said before, folks always want to take a photograph of this thing, and I never have a problem with that.
Good morning.
And here we are at the petrol station at Woodsetton. And there's Wayne and Wayne's friend, Dozza. New one to us, but he's more than welcome. But surprisingly, no Graham. He's normally 10 minutes early. It don't matter. We'll wait. I'd just left a voicemail message telling Graham that we were setting off and we'd meet him at Holtfleet when who should roll up. It appears he'd forgot his top box, so we went back for that, and then there was a bit of traffic, which, yeah, it happens. Anyway, that's all of us, so let's be on our way. All being well, the next stop should be Holtfleet, where we'll pick up Jonathan. And before long it's over the River Severn and the Holtfleet. So we'll pull in and wait for Jonathan. And in a bit of perfect timing, Jonathan had just caught us up as I turned into the car park. So we never physically stopped. It was a case of turn round and carry on. And due to the A449 being closed, this is where we turn off on the Colwall Road, which, funnily enough, was Wendy's stomping ground when she was younger. There you go. And so far, the rain's held off as such. A bit light rain, just enough to make things slightly damp. And it's certainly a grand view over to the left as we carry on climbing up the Malverns. I must admit I do like riding these back roads under the trees. Even if it is a bit damp, it's still enjoyable. And eventually we come back out on the A449, and there on the right is Sally's place, the British camp. So, time for a cuppa. And we've still got everyone that we set out with, so that's always a good sign. And it's down through Ledbury and past the Royal Oak. Done a few rallies there in the past. In fact, they still hold rallies at that pub to this day. And just down the road here in Muchmarkle, on the left there, is the Walling Arms, where the Munch MCC used to hold their Get a Life rally. Done a few of those too. And the nice little straight bit just past the pub. Actually, I think this is the only straight bit and the length. with the A449. And there on the left is the A40 CAF, formerly the Pencraig Diner. It's the one we stopped in last time going to Porlock, but no, we're going past it today, I'm afraid. And it's over the River Wye, and it's looking a bit black over Bill's Mothers, I must say. Got a feeling we might be getting wet later. And yes, we've still got everybody. And it's up the steep bit to Simmons Yacht Rock, and I think the rain is just starting now. Oh well, we've had 65 mile of dryish stuff. As you can see, the rain's a bit heavier now, and there's the turning for the Kymin. This will be another single track steep road. Luckily, the rear camera isn't quite so badly affected by the rain. And yes, we've got everybody. And after what seems like a climb that goes on forever, we arrive at the Kymin, and there on our left is the Naval Temple. And here we are, some 840 feet above sea level. And that's the roundhouse, which was constructed by the Kymin Club in 1794, and some 2 years later it was completed. And the Naval Temple, again constructed by the Kymin Club in 1800 to commemorate the second anniversary of the Battle of the Nile in 1798. And then in 1802 Nelson visited it along with Lady Hamilton and her husband Sir William Hamilton, and Nelson was so impressed he said it was the only monument of its kind erected to the Royal Navy in the kingdom. There you go, the Kymin. And you get a good view from the roundhouse. Well, you would get a good view if that lot weren't standing in the way. Let's have a little look from the rotating camera. Wendy's sneaking up to grab her helmet, and there in the background is the Naval Temple itself. Can't really see it through the trees. The road leading up to the roundhouse. And haha, there's Andy on his MZ. He knew we were heading for the Kymin, and he actually got there about 5 minutes before we did. So, I suppose the next stop will be the Silver Fox for dinner. And as we cross the River Wye again, I'm afraid the rain's come back to join us. Rather soggy as we go past Tintern Abbey. A fuel stop at Chepstow, where I decided that I'm going to park under the canopy of the garage rather than sit outside in the rain. Eventually the rain did stop and we were travelling alongside the Severn Estuary, and the Silver Fox will be just round the corner. I must admit I'm looking forward to my dinner. I never bothered with any breakfast this morning. And here we are at the Silver Fox. Only trouble is it's closed. Oh dear. Didn't expect that. Okay, plan B. We'll pull up the road and decide what to do. I did check on the Silver Fox Café when I got back home, and it appears they'd got no electricity, a power cut. They were also closed yesterday for the same reason. Apparently a transformer gone down in one of the fields. Right, plan B. I've dug the sat-nav out and I've set it to take us to KFC in Gloucester, which I believe is 12 miles away, and so it's time to turn round and head for Gloucester. Yes, there is one missing. Wayne's mate does that. At Chepstow he decided he was heading straight back home. So we're one less at the moment. And here we are, the KFC in Gloucester. I do have the urge for a bit of junk food 2 or 3 times a year, so I'm not complaining about ending up here. I opted for my usual boneless banquet and a cup of coffee. And although it's slightly changed from the last one I had, it was still enjoyable. But anyway, I have to say, this is where we wrap things up for 2 reasons. One, the journey back was mainly motorway, which is not really exciting, and the real reason is I forgot to turn the cameras on when we came back out of KFC. So I'm sorry folks, there is no oh shit corner. But hey-ho, it was a good day out. We got slightly wet. We didn't quite end up where we wanted to end up, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. So until the next time, see you later.